One of my favorite comfort foods is hands down mac and cheese. It's cheesy, creamy, it's delicious. Growing up, I was fortunate enough to even get that fancy stuff. It rhymes with Belvita smells and breeze. This was, of course, before I knew what real cheese was. This is Kitchen Serious. Today we're going to turn the deliciousness up to 11, people, with a take on an American classic that will have you craving this pretty much any hour of the day. Surprise, surprise, we're going to get some water in a pan and add a liberal amount of salt to it and bring it to a boil. While that's heating up, let's grab a knife and get to work on our ingredients. Cooking a recipe is 1,000 times easier when you have everything kind of cut and measured, ready to add. I guess you could say it's best to have everything in its place. So for this, we're going to need an Anaheim pepper, a couple cloves of garlic, 2 green onions, and a little spice blend. I use cumin and chili powder. For south of the border inspired recipes, there's a good chance I'm going to find an excuse to use an Anaheim chili. Don't let the appearance scare you off. If you look at the Scoville Heat Index, which measures how hot a pepper is, you'll see that it falls in between the heat of a green bell pepper, which is 0, and a jalapeno. And 2500 is a very mellow jalapeno, by the way. You won't be seeing this on hot ones anytime soon.
Holy yeah. That's like sticking your tongue in a plate of acid.
Pretty much any pepper, I'm going to take the top and bottom off and make a slit down the side. Then you can kind of fan it out, turn it sideways, and glide your knife to remove the vein and all the seeds. Now lay it flat. You can cut it into a couple different sections, cut them into strips. Now turn the strips and chop them into your desired size. Now we're going to give our green onions a chop. So green onions have basically 3 different parts. They have the leaves, the bright green part. They have the bulb, the very end where you can see the roots coming out. And in between the two, we have the stem. First things first, we're just going to lose the bulb and then separate the leaves from the stem and chop each one separately, since we'll be using them at different stages of the recipe. Which is pretty normal for a green onion. The tops will be used as more of a garnish, and the stem is built more for sauteing or grilling even. Next up, we have our garlic. You know how I like to roll. Smash, peel, and press. Alright, we got everything chopped and sliced, and by now the water ought to be pretty close, so we'll throw our pasta in. Now for mac and cheese, traditionally you'll see elbows, but here I chose cappatavi. But honestly, any pasta that's tubular works great for this. Make sure and stir that pasta frequently while we're sauteing our ingredients here. I'm going to use my stainless steel skillet here, which is oven safe. Cast iron would also be a great choice for this, but we're going to get some oil in the pan. Oh boy, that's a lot of oil. I didn't mean to put that much in there, but okay. We're sauteing, we're not deep frying, so definitely add about half that oil. First, we're going to add our Anaheim chili and a little salt and pepper. Let that go for about 20 seconds before adding our spice blend. We're going to also add our tablespoon of butter, the garlic, as well as our chopped up stems. Now keep stirring to melt that butter and allow our spices to bloom. Once that butter's melted, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of flour, making a roux. All you need to remember is it's equal parts fat and flour, and the fat could be in the form of butter, oil, bacon grease, whatever you like. An easy way to thin it out is just to add a little water if you find it's getting too thick. Because we will be adding a couple different kinds of cheese to this, I'm going to add just a little bit of water. After just 2 or 3 minutes, you'll really start to see it thicken. Next, we're going to add a half a cup of cream cheese. And once that's good and incorporated, I've got a cup of shredded white cheddar. At this point, you can add whatever cheese you want. Normally, cheddar would have a problem melting because it gets a little oily or greasy, but because of the cream cheese, it's not going to be a problem. So go ahead and incorporate that in and watch the cheesy goodness just develop. Add a little salt and pepper, and it's going to be ready for the pasta. I do recommend you undercooking the pasta just a little bit to make up for the time that it will continue to cook. I'm really not trying to eat this entire pan right now. So now just stir in the pasta and try to get it evenly coated. I'm a huge fan of texture, so anything crunchy that I can put on top, like breadcrumbs, or in this case, since this is a Tex-Mex take on mac and cheese, I'm going to use tortilla chips. In my case, I've got some blue tortilla chips. I think there's too much cheese in this mac and cheese. Said no one, ever. So I'm going to add a cheddar Monterey Jack shred to the top of this. It's now ready for the broiler, but keep an eye on it because this will melt in about 60 to 90 seconds. Now once it's out of the oven, you can garnish with the rest of the green onion and enjoy. Hot sauce is optional. And if you'd like to make this at home, here is your shopping list. Let me know down below if you try it out and you love it. Thanks for checking out Kitchen Serious. I'll see you guys next time.
What's the difference between Velveeta shells and cheese and all the rest?
Oh, I know this one. The fact that there's zero cheese in it.